The 2016 West Australian Media Awards are made possible thanks to Curtin University, The West Australian, The Sunday Times, Media Super, Lavan Legal, Edith Cowan University, the Public Transport Authority, Community Newspaper Group, Bird in Hand, Lion, Gordon Reed Family Foundation, OBWA, and the Walkley Foundation.
The job that we do, I reckon, is particularly hard and getting harder.
I've always just thought the privilege of being able to tell the news.
These awards celebrate great storytelling. They celebrate the very best of our journalism.
Last I heard, my veranda's on fire, I can't get out, come and help me.
Facing deportation to a country he has no memory of.
Council voted not to fly an Aboriginal flag during NAIDOC week.
After pushing the organisation into the digital age.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome West Australian MEAA Media Section Branch President, Martin Turner.
Linda Reynolds, Senator for Western Australia in the Federal Parliament. Caitlin McInerney, MEAA Media Director. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2016 WA Media Awards. Our event is being held on the traditional lands of the Whadjuk tribe of the Noongar people, and I wish to acknowledge them as traditional owners. I'd also like to pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the elders from other communities who may be here today. A special welcome to regional folk from the ABC and West Regionals. Pretty rowdy bunch. From as far afield as Broome, Karratha, Kununurra and Kalgoorlie, apparently. That is fantastic. This is an event for our whole state, and your attendance reinforces that. To Simon Hidzik and his team at OBWA for taking care of all our audio-visual needs and providing a host of other services, you have taken our presentation to a whole new level. To our special guest Tibor Mazaros from West TV for screening our presentation again this year. Your input adds to the professionalism and prestige of our event and takes our awards to a general audience, so thank you. To Community Newspaper Group Chief Editor Matt Ziss for streaming these awards in conjunction with West TV, another way in which we are expanding the scope of this event. As ever, thanks to our sponsors, old and new, we appreciate your commitment to these awards, particularly in a challenging economic environment. At the same time, a big thanks to Anna Magnus from the Walkley Foundation, who takes care of our sponsors and our event and now has a long association with us. To the staff of Empire Function Centre and Leanne in particular for looking after us so well. To the Media Section Committee, Vice President Vicky Laurie, Paige Taylor, MEAA Board Member Martin Saxon, Emma Wynne, who's our social media go-to woman, Emma Wynne, Emma Young, our social media go-to woman, freelancer Marissa Warwick-Maniaka, Andrew Hobbs, Curtin University's Catherine Shine, who got our Student Day back up and running this year, Nick Way, largely sidelined these days by his position as a government advisor, but still highly valued as a member. Natalie Richards from the West, and very recently Mark Hooper as well from the West, who will ensure we have proper representation from our major WA worksite. And of course to our regional director, Tiffany Venning. Tiffany rather proudly told the committee the other night this has been her longest gig ever, 4 whole years. Wow. I am aware of her work in the funeral industry and another union, but even accounting for her extreme youth, I'm assuming there's a vast trove of interesting jobs in the interim. This has been a difficult job for her personally with a very sick mother, and she's currently holding the office together solo. So it's gratifying she's enjoying herself among us. I guess when your job involves popping down south on a film set and hanging out with blonde dreamboats like Simon Baker, then coming back to Perth and locking horns with silver dreamboats like Bob Cronin, who we trust will enjoy his retirement, it's hardly surprising she's constantly stimulated by her work. Anyway, we love your work, Tiff. It's a source of great pride for myself, MEAA and Walkley staff and our media section committee to see so many of our industry colleagues and your guest here tonight. There has seldom been a time when we need to celebrate our achievements as much as now. I would particularly like to dedicate this evening to our industry colleagues from the Sunday Times, and thank you for sharing the evening with us, the last of an era in some respects. You've had a difficult, some would say excruciating time of it of late. Speaking as a union member, these are the times when our role and purpose is clarified. In broad terms, I see this as nothing more nor less than upholding the respect and dignity which we are entitled to. Our solidarity as union members is one of the few responses we have available to us in the workplace. It's a simple act to join and pay your dues to a union such as MEAA, but it's nevertheless a potent and vital symbol of the personal freedoms we enjoy in a democracy. Never take this for granted. Unions have been at the forefront of all the great social struggles of modern times and will continue to play a major role in society into the future. This has been exemplified this very week with 2 terrible events in Queensland, the Dreamworld deaths and the bus driver who was set alight. It is unions who have previously been asking the questions on safety in both these cases because it is unions that are most in touch with individuals in the workplace. And no, unions did not prevent either of these events. Unions are not a panacea to all society's ills, but with union strength and cooperation with employers, much can be achieved. Tonight is a celebration of our solidarity in this amazing profession and a celebration of the best of our craft. Many thanks to all of those who entered the awards, and congratulations to those who succeeded in being named finalists. Success follows some of you finalists around like a media pack hounding Colin Barnett about the latest poll figures, but for others such accolades represent a new experience. Don't take any success for granted in our industry at the moment. If the work that has brought you to the attention of the judges can help to enhance your career, exploit that opportunity. Make the most of this evening. You have the cream of the industry around you. Introduce yourself. Have a chat with the chief of staff, an editor, or a senior reporter. It's called networking or sucking up. Whatever. We need journalists out there having a go. Just as we need sufficient journalists working to interpret the complexity of our world in thriving, sustainable West Australian workplaces, not just the West Australian. I sincerely thank you all for your participation in tonight's awards and hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you very much.
It's a long way up. It must be I think we're the 2 shortest people in media, and that's why we've got the highest stage.
Yes. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We can't see you all, but maybe that's a good thing. Drink up, have a good night, and we hope we can entertain you.
Yes. Who would have thought they'd bring 2 rivals together, like direct rivals? They've had different stations before, but same time slot.
That's it. It is past our bedtime as well, ladies and gentlemen, but we both had a nap today, so, you know, we'll try and keep going for you tonight. But, yeah, I know that your boss, in fact, is a fan of mine.
He's a big fan of yours, TiVo. Not just the TV side of things, but your karaoke Instagram stories, which are legendary in the media industry in Perth. What's your Instagram handle again, just so
At
people can check that.
_Vo.
Yeah, he sends requests to TiVo. I can't get my leave request for Christmas looked at, but he'll look and send requests to you. I'm thinking if you can just chuck in perhaps Madonna's Holiday next week, might be a bit suggestive.
Any requests you guys want tonight for some really rockin' music, let me know.
It's been a big year, TiVo. Channel 9 has moved to Top of the Terrace. It was very subtle, but I found out it was Top of the Terrace.
Did you guys notice that at all? Really?
What's it like up there in the city? Because we're like the top of the lake in 7. Yeah.
It's good. It's great to feel like grown-ups, really. But so you've left, we've left. Channel 10.
I know, where's Channel 10? Channel 10, now the highest rating news that is based in Dianella. How was that? Round of applause.
Go Channel 10. That's right.
First at 5, last to leave, Dianella. They're going to Subi, I think.
They're going to Subi. I bet you guys are very, very stoked about that indeed.
And we have some exciting times too. Of course, we're based 7 with the West Australian, and soon the Sunday Times coming in as well. It'll be very subtle, the cross-promotion. You know, My Kitchen Rules will only be on the front page of the paper a few times a week.
Yeah, that's it. That's a few times a week, whatever. That's your show. Are you guys going to have room there? Are they going to have to sit on your lap, on your same desk, or what's going on there?
Oh, that's a bit inappropriate. I don't want a Donald Trump moment here.
No,
I still want my job.
We don't want that.
Yeah, a few people have left the West. Yeah. Probably about 800 years worth of experience.
Well, yes, that's
but
right.
We're doing lots of cat videos and stuff. That's going to keep us going till the Sunday Times people come in.
That's right. But we've also got some newcomers. Babies.
Yes, some babies.
Matt
I've seen a baby.
Is a new father, everyone. Please congratulate. Give him a round of applause. Are you training her up just yet to be the next journo?
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's a few jobs when she's ready to become a journo.
That's it. We've had, and also Rebecca Marsh as well, your colleague. So plenty of babies to enter the world these days. But also, we are also job sharing as well. Radio.
Yes, you entered radio this year. That was a nice segue. Yes. ABC, how was it going to government?
I'm getting plenty of love from 2 organisations, which is great. A shout out to my wonderful ABC colleagues. Where are you all? Can't see. Yeah, there you go. And the Rowdy Regional guys. They're going to be a great bunch
Rowdy
tonight.
Regional.
Yeah. But it's great. Although
and there's always rumours in the radio industry, isn't there? Like, is Liam Bartlett going to 6PR?
You'll have to ask Liam Bartlett that.
Is Liam here?
He's not here yet. He will be here.
He will be here.
And Simon Beaumont's returned as well.
Yes. Peter Bell's gone to the ABC.
Yes, that's it. Everyone needs a job these days, so they're trying to get it anywhere that they can, really, can't they?
And I must say, Rick and Sue send their apologies for this year and every year since 1985. When you do as well as Rick and Sue do, you probably don't need an award.
And Tim and Emmy also send their regards for not being here for 1 year.
Just this year.
Just this year.
And newspapers. So many changes in newspapers, isn't there?
That's it. We hope that everyone, is all good out there, as we heard earlier as well, that, it is a changing landscape out there, but we're here to have a really good night, aren't we, guys, tonight? And acknowledge come on,
fun
everyone.
Night. Celebrate, we still have jobs.
Yes, exactly. We still have jobs, we're still getting paid.
Now, this is really exciting, because the first time I hosted the Media Awards, we had a hashtag WA Media Awards. But now we've got a social media wall, where your tweets are going to come up. So make sure you tweet tonight, hashtag WA Media Awards. I know that takes up a lot of the characters, but whatever else, whatever room you've got left.
You can criticise us if you want. Don't throw things at us, just criticise us on social media.
Yeah, our bosses are on social media. You can tag them in, let them know. Also, WTV will broadcast this event, so we've been told not to swear. That's going to air next week.
And also Community News is streaming it live as well.
Yes,
so
live
behave,
stream.
People, behave. Although we're a room full of journalists, so I think that's going to be a bit difficult, but we'll see what we can do.
It is. So let's celebrate the year that it has been. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Vyar Loop, all but wiped out.
Fire that couldn't be stopped.
It's all gone. Like a bad dream.
Supposed to be a peaceful protest.
Tara, was this a bad story from the beginning, do you think?
They're about to reenact for police the night that changed their lives. The officers had good reason for attempting to stop that vehicle.
Only one of them survived.
The alleged discovery of asbestos.
It isn't a children's hospital, it's a construction site.
If not the youngest to ever be charged with murder. Seeing the children playing in the water park is just great.
It's not working.
You don't know what's in that report?
No.
You don't know the findings?
No, I don't. None at all. Haven't even seen it.
I'm not able to speak about it. I don't need to discuss any of it. I'm not able to answer any of these questions.
We'd like to ask you some questions.
Yes, Liam, I'm sure you would.
Sexually assaulting them and leaving them in nearby Hyde Park.
It's the biggest plane in aviation history.
Welcome to Perth.
I'm not hiding from no one. Do you want me to go loose? I'm not scared.
War between his parents and doctors.
You put the interests of the child first.
Just bouncing along the ground, unable to get out.
Best balloon pilot in the world.
I'm still kind of coming to terms with the fact that, like, the Olympics is over.
Beau Chatterley is tackled and falls to the ground head first.
I wish that night never happened. I wish I never went out that night.
Will it take a child to be attacked?
The shark was bigger than their 5.3 metre boat.
Inflicted some quite serious wounds.
He just wanted to be his idol and that was it.
Pleased to meet them. Very pleased to meet them. Thank you.
You will be meeting them?
Of course. Thank you. That's enough we said.
Somebody out there does know who this person was. Somebody was with this person prior to her death.
This is happening in Australia.
The British people have voted to leave the European Union.
Begging the public for answers. Their son, Quoll, is clinging to life.
Let us not take this planet for granted.
Gun control has been President Obama's greatest frustration.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
A great border wall!
Armed with a gun, fires 2 shots.
Margaret!
A cameraman calls his colleague.
You okay?
Rescuers hoping for more miracles.
The truck driver simply accelerated onto the Seaside Boulevard.
Feel so much for these children and the families and the mother.
Shattered by a hail of bullets aimed at officers.
Thousands gathered outside City Hall to remember the 5 fallen officers.
Is 6 years imprisonment. T-shirts turned into tourniquets. The injured splayed out on the concrete.
Belgium is on full terror alert.
Nick's battered.
Many cut down by nails and bolts.
They found him unresponsive. Private, 18-month battle with cancer.
With Judgy, life wasn't a popularity contest.
Inside this room, all of my dreams become realities.
In their thousands, giving the champ a true prizefighter's farewell.
A man who introduced a whole new language to Perth radio. War Office, ankle biters.
And in your own words, keep yourself decent.
How was that? It's been a big year.
Massive year.
And a big thank you to Simon Heidsieck for putting that year in review together and for all the packages this evening. It looks fantastic. Now, we have had more than 240 entries to the WA Media Awards this year, and that's just from Steve Pennells. Only joking. So if you do win tonight, you are the cream of the crop. The absolute cream of the crop.
That's indeed. And it's a great night to recognise, as we mentioned, it is a really tough industry at the moment for journalism, and it's great that we are all here tonight to celebrate the work that we've all done. Even if we're not finalists or we're nominated or winners, we are all, well, I'll quote Elaine, we're all, oh no, Summer Seinfeld, we're all winners anyway. So it is a really nice night that you all are here tonight as well. So it is great indeed. So please congratulate everyone who is a finalist here tonight. I think many of you are here, so we'll give everyone a round of applause earlier now.
And as for the winners, they will receive, it's got written here, a unique designer WA Media Award trophy. I did see them earlier. They are unique. Like, if you think the Logie is unique, this is unique.
It doesn't compare.
Yeah, the one time I won a WA Media Award, it was a certificate. This is what you want. If you entered this year and you're a finalist, you're in for a treat if you win.
I'd like now to please welcome the MEAA's Director of Media, Caitlin McInerney.
Good evening.
evening, everybody. And of course, I'd like to extend my welcome to the 2016 West Australian Media Awards. And it is an absolute privilege to be here this evening representing the Media, Entertainment and Arts Alliance. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet this evening, their elders past and present. And thank you especially to Martin Turner for the absolutely brilliant welcome before, and of course the redoubtable Tiffany Venning. Thank you so much for all your hard work. As we've just heard, tonight is of course a celebration, the showcase of the very best in journalism in West Australia over the past year, and journalism of course that demonstrates tremendous skill, determination and courage. Courage and a determination to get the important news out to our communities. On behalf of me, I'd like to congratulate all of the finalists here tonight, and I wish you the very, very best of luck. Tonight is also an opportunity, as we've just seen, to reflect on the past 12 months, not only 12 months of news, but the 12 months for our profession. It's often been labelled a small world, the Australian media industry, and sadly that statement does ring a little more true than it has before. In the last 12 months, we've witnessed our numbers decline yet again, and the important business of journalism has been put under further strain, with valued colleagues departing the industry as media companies battle fragmenting audiences and falling ad revenues. Media members across the country, though, have fought tirelessly for every newsroom job, because as journalists we know all too well that the frenetic daily race to get the news to our audiences, the often grinding reality of the news gathering business, takes a toll. And it is only by having well-resourced newsrooms, by having boots on the ground, that we ensure that the work gets done, that the stories of local communities are heard, and that the truth is told. Journalists who've remained in the rat race report that they are busier than ever before, reporting the news across multiple platforms and taking up the mantle of town crier on top of their ordinary duties as on social media. And of course, if that wasn't enough of a challenge, journalists continue to face prosecution and jail time for doing their job. This year, a federal election year, journalists have been under incredible scrutiny. It's just gone past the 12-month mark since national data retention laws were passed with bipartisan support in our parliament. And we've already seen government agencies exercise the powers granted to them under that legislation to secretly investigate and monitor journalists' metadata in an effort to identify the sources of their stories. In April this year, the AFP admitted to accessing the telecommunications data of Guardian journalist Paul Farrell. The AFP trawled through his email records and carried out subscriber checks to discover everyone Farrell had contacted. The AFP claims its investigations were not about targeting journalists, but in Farrell's case, the AFP collected a 200-page dossier which consisted of 51 documents and more than 800 electronic updates, all obtained lawfully. It's difficult to conceive then exactly how the Australian public will get the full story on key issues like border security and the asylum seeker debate if journalists and their sources are being gagged and threatened with criminal prosecution. These regressive laws threaten to choke press freedom in Australia, gag whistleblowers and punish the journalists seeking to bring the truth to light. These are attacks that undermine our democracy, and once it starts, it's very hard to turn the tide back. I urge you all to read MIA's Press Freedom Report, which we put out annually, and to continue to support MIA's campaigns for the public's right to know. And it's clear that the public does want to know and wants to know the full story. Of course, last year we had the Tasmanian Attorney General attempt to change that state's laws to allow corporations to sue for defamation. That all fell by the wayside, though, after it proved to be deeply unpopular with the electorate and deemed downright dangerous for those defending the public's right to know. The work that journalists do, the work that you do every day, revealing vital news stories, scrutinising the powerful, giving a voice to the voiceless, telling our community stories, be they big or small, this is important work. And that's why MIA members have and will continue to fight so hard for genuine press freedom in Australia. It's also why MIA members are fighting so hard to ensure that journalism jobs are good jobs, with good working conditions, decent pay, and fair recognition for the job that they do. It's a big job, and as ever, the news does not stop when the clock ticks over 5. When you're on the trail of something big, ordinary hours simply don't apply. And that is one of the reasons that MIA members have been campaigning so hard this year at our biggest media employers, the ABC, News Corporation, Network 7, 10, SBS and Fairfax Media, campaigning for workplace conditions that recognise the contribution that you make and reward the passion and dedication you bring to your job. Campaigns like these are a massive amount of work, involving hundreds of MIA members across the country, standing together for a fair deal, working with media employers at a time when they are beset by tough operating conditions and tight budgets. But our members are a very smart, determined, dogged, courageous bunch, negotiating and working with our media organisations within the constraints of current market conditions. And each and every one of us has a very firm focus on building a sustainable and vibrant media landscape that not only supports good jobs, but attracts the best and the brightest, many of whom are sitting in the room with us tonight. All the while striving to ensure that we can continue to deliver the kind of quality journalism that our audiences deserve. And of course, MIA members are at the centre of the push to transition those good working conditions out into the new media landscape. In early 2016, MIA members began to campaign to modernise the working conditions that underpin our industry, with a particular focus on extending the hard-won conditions currently protecting those in established media to our colleagues working in online-only publications. Just because you work for a digital outlet rather than one that still publishes in ink or sends out the news via the airwaves doesn't mean you should miss out on basic conditions like shift allowances, overtime pay, or public holidays. Transition is a very big part of what MIA is doing at the moment. MIA is calling on and using our incredible pool of talent within our membership and the support networks of our journalism community right here in WA to help our colleagues who are going through that transition, who are transitioning from traditional media out into the wider industry, helping by sharing their expertise, helping others to build the kinds of skills they'll need to take up new challenges and the new opportunities that digital online represent. So, simply said, MIA is your community. MIA is your advocate. We are your biggest supporter, and your union and we're also your union. And I encourage those of you tonight who are not already members to join your colleagues and join the evolution of the industry. We have plenty of work ahead of us. So again, on behalf of MIA, I would like to congratulate all of those producing the fine work that's on display here tonight, and I wish you all the very best of luck in your future endeavours, and I look forward to campaigning for good jobs and press freedom with you all over the coming 12 months. Thank you.